All right, everyone. We just finished watching an overtime game between the Milwaukee Bucks and the Miami Heat. Miami Heat lost by 3. Um, Disappointing to say the least, right? I mean, we would
Definitely.
have, with Giannis going out in the first, what was the second quarter? Um, we would have liked to see the Heat, kind of take advantage of that. But we've also seen that this entire series that the Milwaukee Bucks have been better without Giannis on the floor. And one of the things that I attribute to that is the fact that the Heat have game planned for a series with Giannis Antetokounmpo as the main threat from Milwaukee. You take Giannis out of the situation, adjustments have to be made. I will say I don't feel like the correct adjustments were made. There weren't a lot of traps thrown at Chris Middleton. I would have liked to seen a lot more pressure on Chris Middleton. I would have liked to see, that was it. Chris Middleton killed you. Like, all the little bullshit from Dante Vincenzo, whatever his name is, and these other losers. Like, Chris Middleton beat you in a playoff game, right?
Right.
There are ways to make that not happen. Every time Bam was on Middleton, Middleton was shut down completely. Whenever they switched and he had a guy like Tyler Hero or Goran Dragic on him, he made shots. He even beat Jay Crowder a lot because Jay Crowder's defense comes from strength, not length, right? And with Middleton, you need length on Middleton. Jay Crowder doesn't have that length. So I feel like there were ways to win this game. And listen, I'm going to let the commenters talk about the officiating because if they called the game correctly, this wasn't going into overtime. There was a lot of bad calls against the Heat tonight, and we've seen it all series. But the Heat were able to overcome it because they just stuck to their game plan. Their game plan today went into the shitter after Giannis went out, and they had to adjust. And listen, call a spade, give credit to where it's due. They did not make the proper adjustments. Right. I'm going to start with Tiffany Meeks. Tiffany underneath me. What's up, Tiffany?
How you doing? How you guys doing?
Tiffany's debut on. Now everyone's going to blame you, by the way. You're the jinx.
I just thought that. I was like, damn it, Al.
Tiffany's going to be seen as the 5 Reasons post-game jinx now.
No.
But you're not. It's not your fault.
It was my fault. I put money on the Heat. I ruined it for everyone.
You put money? Oh, my God. See, anyway.
But only a little bit. I'm poor. I don't have much anyway. Which, by the way, send me some money, guys. I need beer money. I need a lot of beer money right now because I want to be fucked right now.
Well, this is for you.
Sorry, guys.
Yep.
I'm drinking myself. Listen, I drink. But listen, here's the thing. We can talk about the officiating all we want, right? They didn't have the MVP and Defensive Player of the Year.
No.
So let's not waste our time worrying about bad calls.
Right.
Okay? The Heat have had their first loss in playoffs. I like somebody saying, how do they respond? Tiffany, how do they cancel Tiffany? No, we are not canceling Tiffany. Tiffany is a new contributor to 5 Reasons Sports. Tiffany.
Blame it, okay, guys? Blame it on Al. Blame it on Ethan.
Blame it on me. We've never won when I've worn this shirt, but that's a lie. We've won 3 times when I've worn this shirt. Tiffany,
Yes.
One of the things, the reason I reached out to Tiffany about coming on this show and being a contributor to 5 Reasons Sports is because Tiffany responds to all my bullshit tweets all the time, and half the time she's correcting my bad basketball analysis, which, if anybody knows me, it's mostly bad, And a lot of times she also agrees with me, which has engendered her to me very well. But Tiffany knows the game of basketball. What did you see tonight? And mostly after Giannis went out, what went wrong?
Well, honestly, what went wrong was that 3-guard lineup they threw at us.
Mm-hmm.
I don't expect our guards to shut anybody down, but I expect us to take better care of the ball, make better passes, and make better decisions overall. And, the little things that we've been doing, we didn't do tonight. Like Hero, he saved us. He kept us in it with the shot. But we could go back to the second quarter, the third quarter. He had so many careless handles with the ball.
Yes.
He was dancing too much. It was, it was my time to shine at the top of the key. And what's his name? Dante DiVincenzo. When you get
White
ripped,
Dante is White Dante is what they call him.
Yeah, when you get ripped at the top of the key, that should change your mentality.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as the ball handling, it didn't. And we never adjusted to that. I felt like Jimmy was getting a rhythm. He went to the bench. He sat for a long time, and by the time he came back, he just didn't look like he wanted it. So between him not looking like that and Wesley Matthews with the defense, how are you going to overcome that? Because you look for that, and if you want to like say get a pick and pop for him, if Bam's not setting that screen. And if Jay's not doing it, who's doing it?
What I will say is like Wes Matthews was a -25 tonight, but he made Jimmy Butler's life hell in certain parts of the game in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
And Jimmy Butler, you know what? Listen, we praise when praise is due, right. And we tell the truth when the praise is not. Jimmy Butler did not step up in the fourth quarter or overtime. No. Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo were the ones that were playing the best, and Goran Dragic even, who you relied on a lot of relief points. It's almost like when Giannis and Kylie, I'll ask you next. It's like when Giannis went out. It's like the whole Heat game plan just went to hell. Like what happened?
Yeah, and they should have had a plan for that. I mean, I don't understand how they didn't, or if they did, how it was so bad. I mean, I thought they did such a great job in previous games of keeping Giannis, to minimal points and containing him, for the most part, pretty well, especially game one. And then as soon as he's out of the game, I mean, obviously Chris Middleton was already having a rate, but he steps up huge. And even Brook Lopez, who's just the bane of my freaking existence. And I just don't understand how there was no plan. It was like, oh, I was supposed to guard Giannis, and now I'm not guarding Giannis, so I don't know what to do anymore, which is ridiculous. Like, you're a basketball player. Do your job. Like, how hard is it to just be better?
Be better.
Do your job. Be a basketball player. And I get that there were a lot of other things going wrong for them, and the referees this whole series have been really frustrating. But you can't, and we're going to talk about how Jimmy didn't step up, how, Tiffany mentioned before, but you can't just put the whole game on one guy,
Yeah. No, you're right.
Pull out the win every single time because you're just not there in the fourth quarter. You can't do that.
Their offense looked anemic. They went 5 minutes at one point without scoring a point. Their offense looked anemic. They couldn't figure. They were yes. And listen, we can talk about the ref officiating all we want,
but they got lucky to be in it.
Yes, right. If they called the game the way they were supposed to, the Heat would have escaped with a win that they did not deserve.
Yep.
Okay.
There was a play. I can't remember what. I think it was either the third, might have been the fourth towards the end. But like there's a pick, and then all of a sudden, you watch, and Dante has the ball, and he's going baseline. Yeah. Goran gets there, but
too late.
You're late. You're late, and everyone turns and watches.
Yeah,
everyone turned and watched. No one moved. This whole game reminded me of, earlier in the season where, they would beat a top 5 team by 50, and then the next night lose to the Hawks.
Exactly.
This is what that felt like.
It felt like they let their guard down once Giannis was out the game, and the movement on offense stopped. They were in quicksand on defense a lot of the times, like you're talking about. There were backdoor cuts. There was a lot of things that were happening that the reaction time, I was like, what's happening? And Bam was one, and I want to give roses to Bam tonight.
Yeah.
Bam played his ass off.
All over,
and he deserved better than this.
And he played with in the previously, we've talked about how Bam didn't play a good game, and then you see his stats, and you're like, oh, he did. He kind of did. This game was one of those games where you didn't even think that he was playing a bad game in any way because he wasn't making so many obvious stupid mistakes.
Right. He was dominant, 26, 12, and 8, almost with a triple-double, right? And this was this is the formula for a Heat win. They had 6 guys in double figures, including Tyler Hero with 11. But what I will say, they shot 37. Well, actually, they shot 46% from the field. They did a lot of good things, but then Milwaukee shot 48. And I just, 22 shots from the free throw line from this game. To me, what I would like to say to all Heat fans right now, don't panic over this loss,
right?
At all. The Heat are 7-1 in the playoffs, Like that's really, really good. You know what I mean? Like that's really, really good. And tonight was one of those games. Milwaukee lost to an Orlando team, right? A lot of teams lose to bad. Once, like when things happen that are out of your control, Giannis goes down. There's something that happens to a team where the game plan that you've been practicing for a few weeks is now not the game plan anymore. It changes the team's mentality. And teams have a hard time adjusting. Alfredo, I'll go to you. You just jumped in. Alfredo from 3 yards per carry. What did you see tonight? Because we've been talking a lot about the fact that once Giannis went out, it looks like the Heat just didn't know what to do anymore.
Yeah, I have a WhatsApp chat with the 3 yards per carry guys, and Chris Kaufman brought it up during the game that this was the Ewing theory game.
Yeah.
And for those of you that don't know what the Ewing theory is unfortunately it was created by Bill Simmons.
Yeah, that's why I don't like. I wanted to reference it, but I hate Bill Simmons so much.
Yeah, I didn't. But the Ewing theory is pretty simply this: the Knicks back in the '90s, when Patrick Ewing used to be out, the Knicks actually would play very well without him. So it's just the theory that teams can actually play above and beyond their means for a short period of time. And I'm not concerned. I'm just a little bit annoyed. I wanted the series to be over with because you could tell that we need to get some legs replenished, namely Goran Dragic. And, I wanted the series over with, wanted to sit around for a while and assess who we're going to play in the next round. But it happens. They played very, very well. You can't go 5 minutes without a field goal in the fourth quarter and expect to win a game. It was just – I thought the Heat played an okay first half, a pretty good third quarter, a terrible fourth quarter, and they paid for it. They lost.
Yep. I think they deserved it. Tiffany –
Yes.
The Heat in the fourth quarter, you talked about it a little bit. I want you to kind of expand upon it. What did you see? Because the Heat have been dominant in the fourth quarter, all series, all playoffs.
Right.
The fourth quarter is kind of where their bread and butter is.
Right.
What did you see tonight in the fourth quarter?
Well, like I said, they, first of all, Budenholzer actually he surprised the hell out of me.
He actually coached.
Yeah, exactly. So I was shocked because he mixed in the 3-guard lineup, and then he would put Brook in and then bring in a forward and take Brook out. And it was and it looked a little bit unsettling for us, as if now I got to guard this guy, but I got to make sure I get on Brook. And we just looked out of sorts. But
Spo was reacting to it.
He was. But and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is a game. This is the game where we needed that push. Yes. This is the game where that one guy needed to come off the bench and it can't be Hero, because Hero's going to close, and that's just what it is. But we needed none. This was the night, and I've been saying for the last how many weeks, we got to get that one game so we can get that next game.
Yep.
And his shot doesn't even look good.
Terrible.
And it just so you're running. How many guys did we run at the end? 7.
And okay, and I will say something about that. The fact that those guys look tired.
Yep.
And Spo did some stuff with Iggy and Duncan trying to spell some guys. But Kylie, I'll go to you about this, because one of the things Tiffany's mentioning is a 3-guard lineup where some of these guards were kind of killing us. I would have loved to see some Derrick Jones Jr. on Middleton.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see Derrick Jones Jr. out there because Jay Crowder was amazing. I don't want to take any roses away from Jay Crowder. Like, he was shooting the 3, he was doing. But Chris Middleton and these smaller guards are not his matchup. Once Giannis gets out the game, Jay Crowder, it's not he's like a liability on defense, but he's not as effective as a Derrick Jones Jr. and Ajay Iguodala, those guys with these long arms that could stop some of this penetration and stop some of this nonsense. What did you want to see more Derrick Jones Jr. in the fourth quarter, or what's going on? What did you see? And a lot of the commenters are saying they want to see DJJ.
Mm-hmm. I want to see DJJ before the fourth quarter. As soon as Giannis was out, he seemed like the logical fit. I mean, I'm glad that Kelly was healthy for this game, because obviously we saw last game. I mean, honestly, I was kind of surprised that we got the W at the end. And Kelly, I think, Kelly not being there, I thought, was a big part of that. And you put in Myers and you put in DJJ to kind of, change those lineups up. Myers, obviously, last game, whatever. But DJJ has looked good. when they put him in, and not just in this series, but he hasn't been getting as many looks to get lately to start, or to play. But when he does, he looks good, and he is a good defensive player. Mm-hmm. And he's even been having games where not only is he doing well defensively, but also putting up good points. So I would love
timely shots from
it's
Derek
one of these things where I think to myself, okay, you're not a coach. You're not Eric Spoelstra. I don't have the knowledge that Eric Spoelstra does. But at the same time, why not?
Right.
What was the logic? He has to explain that then.
I look at it and I'm like, why not give him a try? What you're doing isn't working. Could it be worse? He's literally lighting everyone else up. So give it a try.
Alfredo, Derek Jones Jr., did he deserve minutes? And I'm not just talking about against Middleton. I'm talking what I'm addressing is Tiffany's point of the 3-guard lineup and the fact that you could have used more length. The strength of Bam and Jay. I don't know if that would have been more potent if you had a guy like Iggy out there more, DJJ more, the length on the floor. Did DJJ deserve some minutes this game?
Yeah, no. Normally, I wouldn't react to whatever the Bucks are doing, but in this case, I think they needed to. I think Spo needed to upsize a little bit down the stretch because if you notice, they started a lot of their sets. They would start the same way. Brook Lopez out at the 3-point line. And then they try to set a backpick for him and try to send him down to the post to see if they could get us to switch a smaller man on him. And they actually went to him a couple of times, and he got a couple of buckets, and he got an and one on us on one of those series. So, yeah, they needed to upsize a little bit down the stretch. But let me ask you a question. I don't know if you guys have brought it up, before I got on here. But at the end of regulation, they blow the whistle. Spoelstra goes for a substitution, takes out Bam, brings in Duncan. They blow the whistle in, and then they blow the whistle out again to allow another substitution by Milwaukee.
Trash. Absolute trash.
Yeah. That's wrong.
Right.
Spo ran a substitution gambit on Budenholzer. He should get credit for it. The referee stepped in and helped the Bucks out in that instance.
Tiffany, speak on it.
And I'm the type that just kind of because it's like, how much more can I be frustrated with the refs? But things are so obvious. And it's like, that's a dead whistle. It's done. The substitution has already been made. You can't, once it's done, it's done. You can't stop, pause, and then let somebody else come and then let them try to switch up the game plan. It's like we were already set and ready.
Also, listen, if you're reviewing a play, everything during that play needs to be reviewable because it's happened to us. We have gotten fucked on that a couple of times where you're reviewing a common foul against a defense, and all of a sudden it's a flagrant on us offensively. But if it's out of bounds, but it's obviously a hack on Jimmy's forearm, you can't call the hack, but you can call the out of bounds. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, I'm so like. Okay, either we do replay right or we don't do replay at all because it's slowing the game down. I can't fucking stand it. And the fact is, like, we watch replays over and over again, and either these stupid sumbitches won't admit that they're wrong, okay? And that, like, everyone's like, oh, Eric should have reviewed the call on Goran for that blocking foul. There's no goddamn way on God's green earth that those sumbitch refs were going to admit they were wrong there. And that's the saddest fucking thing about the whole replay system. And I'm sorry, listen, I told you I was going to get unhinged at one point. I was trying not to talk about the fucking refereeing. But this shit is maddening. It's maddening to me because Spo already knew what's the point of calling challenging this shit. These motherfuckers, unless it's so blatant, will never admit that they were wrong. It's disgusting.
They still put these guys off on ESPN like oh, this I'm a referee specialist, I'm an expert. Oh, they were definitely right about this. Yeah. And everyone else, there was a foul in last game where they even the announcers were like, "Who is this on? Is it on Dragic? Is it on Hero? I don't know."
Yes.
If you don't know who the foul is on, maybe there shouldn't be a foul.
And Alfredo, this is why I will never be on ESPN or TNT or any of these places. And listen, it's good because I have a good job and I get, I do this for fun. But if I ever saw Steve Javy in the street, I'm slapping him I'm slapping the fuck out of him. I'm slapping. open hand disrespectful slap. I will not punch Steve Javie in the face because I have I have a hard and fast rule that you don't punch people you don't respect. But if I see Steve Javie in the street, I'm going to slap the shit out of him.
Yeah, and it's a interesting trivia answer. You could bring it out at parties, but Steve Javie, do you know what distinction he has? Alf?
Smallest penis in the world.
Well, but besides that,
oh, sorry.
Besides that, Pat Riley, the great Pat Riley, Hall of Famer, 9 rings. He only has one losing record with one refereeing crew in all of his career, and it was Steve Javie's crew.
Well, now that's a stat, Alfredo.
I had that stat, and it's because I remember it because I wrote it in 2006, and Pat Riley hasn't coached since, so I'm pretty sure the stat still stands.
Yeah.
But another thing is Tony Brothers.
Bring all this. Have I ever told you my Tony Brothers story?
Look, let me be brief with Tony Brothers in this game. I was prepared to come on here and say, you know what, this was not a bad Tony Brothers game because, okay, you're gonna call all the jostling in the post and you're gonna call it consistently. Okay, that's fine. But then 5 minutes to go in the game comes, and they just decide, okay, I'm going to let you not only grab people, but I'm going to let Bledsoe foul Jimmy Butler right in front of me, and I'm still not going to blow the whistle. He forgot he had a whistle in his mouth in the last 5 minutes. Yeah. And it seemed to me like if it was intentional. It seemed to me like he decided, you know what, I'm not calling nothing. You guys do whatever you want to do.
There's a part of me that thinks they want more games. I'm not a QAnon conspiracy theorist, but it is what it is. There's a couple things I have to say about Tony Brothers. First of all, whoever his barber is needs to be shot, quartered, and thrown in a fucking ditch somewhere. You do not let your client have eyebrows like that. There's no reason. All right? Listen, I look like shit right now, and that's because I just didn't feel like going to my barber this weekend. But if I did, I wouldn't like. Tony Brothers gets a haircut and still looks like an asshole. Second thing,
can't hear you, Alf.
We locked you out.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
I'm glad it's not just me.
Okay,
it's been crazy. I thought this game really broke it.
I was gonna be like, damn it, I'm really cursed.
Okay, well, I want to talk about some positives. Okay, let's talk about Duncan Robinson. Yay, Duncan. Duncan with 6. Love to see it. I think my thing with Duncan is that I feel like he doesn't really get going in those high pressure games. And I'm a little bit worried about him. I'm going to make the pretty, I think, fair assumption that even with the loss today, the Heat are going to go on to play the Celtics or the Raptors. And I'm going to need Duncan to have a game like he did today in those games as well. Because previously, it's like the pressure got to him. And in this one game, which honestly didn't matter too much in the scheme of things, being up 3-0, he did great. So I want to know what's going on up here with him.
I don't worry about Duncan Robinson at all because all throughout the playoffs, everybody's been saying, okay, we haven't gotten the Duncan Robinson game. Well, during the regular season, we had a Duncan Robinson month. So it's possible. It's possible he could be great from here on out. So I don't worry about him. All I worry about is the legs on this team and keep the team healthy.
Manny, they're trying to censor me. I'm about to speak that damn truth. You guys can hear me now?
Got you perfectly.
All right, let me go back to my Tony Brothers slander. It's actually a good story because, listen, there's not a lot to talk about in this game. Alfredo, you're OG Heat Twitter, so you know we used to go ham. So I remember one night I was calling Tony Brothers names that I would never repeat again because 2020, there's a different cancel culture, and I probably, they'd probably kick me off Twitter in a minute. So I'm going off on Tony Brothers, and I found his I'm adding blah, 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 because he shitted on Big 3 Heat. And then all of a sudden he's like, hey, listen, brother, thank you for your criticisms. I just want you to know that I appreciate, your everything you're saying. And I'm like, F you, blah, blah. He's like, listen, but I agree with you. Not I agree with you. He's like, thank you for the criticism. Please take note of my charity where I help black single mothers and all this. I'm like, my boss. And he linked me to the charity. He is like the nicest human being in the world. He's Yeah, I felt so bad. I was like, oh my God. But it still hasn't stopped me from calling him names.
Maybe
But-
that's his hustle. That's why he's been a referee for 28
he
years.
tried. I think he tried to get me. I don't care, Tony Brothers. You still a piece of shit. And thank you for what you've done for Black single mothers and giving them,
Probably going to your mom's charity.
yeah. Fuck you. But
That's a lesson. That's a lesson to everybody. That's a lesson to everybody. If you're terrible at your job, be a good human being.
And I try to do the same thing all the time. I'm terrible at this, but I'm a nice person. But listen, I did the same thing to Scott Van Pelt once. Did I? That's another story. I called him a fatherless fuck. This is back like 2000. Listen, Kylie, you don't know early Heat Twitter was a hellscape.
It was a cesspool.
Oh no!
Is
And then
it before or after you had children?
Oh, this is before. And then he like tweets me. He's like, "Hey, my father died 3 years ago, but thanks for your comment." And oh my God, everybody came after me. It was like I'm like, "Fatherless is just a term," and he Twitter, bro. Anyway,
I got a better. Since we're telling media stories,
let's go ahead, Alfredo, because this game. Listen, we don't want to talk about this game anymore. Go ahead. Good media.
Kirk Herbstreit. I once called him like that. They should just have him on TV wearing an Ohio State jersey and wearing Brutus's the mascot head, because he was essentially worthless in any broadcast where Ohio State was playing against somebody. And Kirk Herbstreit picked my comment to come after me in such a way that he got himself booted out of Twitter for a day. And all I could do was staring at it like, wait a minute, is he responding to me or somebody else? But yeah, he went absolutely crazy. I'm gonna dig up those tweets. I think I have them somewhere.
It's so funny, you guys, Tiffany, Kylie, you guys don't understand early Heat Twitter. It was
an asshole like you.
Right.
No, we were bad. Like we were all bad. There were like honestly, I'm so happy that my first
very specific crowd, Alf.
My first account got deleted, and those tweets can never come back. And thank you.
Oh my God.
Oh, Hugo, my dog attacked another dog today, and that's another story. Yeah.
Nah, it's like me playing video games. So
Anyway, man, I was gonna ask Alex his take on the game. Where'd he go? Tiffany, what do they have to do next game? Let's say there's no Giannis next game. What do they have to do? Because I have my ideas, and if they don't do it, I'll probably lose my shit. What do they have to do next game to win?
I mean, it's honestly, they got to go back to just clean up their play. They were sloppy. For the most part of the game, they were sloppy. They were lucky to be in the game because they have this complex where if they're just playing a regular team, we can just stroll out there and just turn it on. We ain't there yet. We not the turn it on level yet. Not to say we can't reach it, but we ain't there yet. And it was evident tonight. It's also like you can go through Bam. It's okay. He made the right decisions. He made the right passes. He took the right shots.
Yep.
And went for every single rebound. It's okay to go through Bam. Because if you don't have Giannis on the floor, you can bring Bam out. Bam can easily get past Lopez. It's okay. Put Bam at the high post. Let him work with Jimmy. Either he feeds it off Jimmy. Jimmy cuts to the basket. Hopefully that's 2 free throws. Bam can turn, and that's your lob. But they got to get back to what got them there. That was the fundamentals. Because you can put anyone out there. They've proven that. You could put DJJ out there for more minutes, but if they don't use the fundamentals, it doesn't matter because they didn't do that tonight.
They went away from the game plan. It wasn't
exactly.
It's not about the personnel. It's not about the personnel. They went away from the game plan.
It really isn't.
Kylie, what do you want? I want to talk about without Giannis, because with Giannis, we know what the game plan is.
Right.
That's what my answer is. Without Giannis, we know what the game plan is, and we've seen it today, and we didn't have an answer for it. So I want to see a game plan that is going to take Brook Lopez and Chris Middleton into account. I want to see DJJ out there because I think he can be a really big part of that game plan, and it kind of blows my mind that he wasn't tonight. Obviously, I mean they should have had a backup plan. They should have had a backup plan. They already knew Giannis was questionable to come into the game. Why didn't they have a plan? Why didn't it work? If they did, whatever, make it work this time.
Alfredo, what do you want to see?
Yeah, I want to see a Heat team that is completely annoyed by the way they played in this game, and there's a little pressure now. And pressure's nothing to be feared. It should be embraced. It's what makes the playoffs fun. If you're a basketball player in the NBA, this is where you want to be. You want to feel a little bit of pressure. You want to feel, the importance and the gravity of certain moments. I think this is one of them, because you lose this one and then Giannis comes back for a game 6. We're talking a whole new thing. It's a whole new series. So a refocused Heat team, do things harder, make it, put your eggs in this basket. You never want to say you want to put all your eggs in one basket. I'm saying put them in this basket. Finish them off in game 5, full-blown effort. And yes, more DJJ.
Manny.
I mean, in all honesty, I felt like today wasn't smart basketball. Very lazy, very the minute that the MVP went out, I noticed Nunn's shot, and I think Tiff said it best on Twitter, and she actually replied to me. His shot looked off, and Tyler Hero was creating, he's just turning over the ball, going half court, trying to be fancy with it. And something told me that I surely believe that was the best opportunity to kind of jump on the Bucks at least right before half. And you saw them like days, no energy towards the end of the fourth. And it just seems like this loss, I guess, it was well deserved by the Heat.
They needed it.
Let's take away they needed it. Let's take away the rest, because we know that if we face Toronto or Boston, now notice how I say if. I'm just hoping. But, I'm saying they needed something negative to occur. It's been nothing but praises. It's been nothing but great job. Great. No. This is the NBA. And the Bucks tonight showed us that even without Giannis, they're for real. And it's time for Spo to counteract that punch into game 5 and to make sure that Budenholzer is like, oh, damn, okay, now you got me. Now I'm stuck because I can't bring back Giannis and I can't do this 3-guard system anymore. So, you know what? Just play smart basketball from the get-go.
Alex,
it was ridiculous.
Alex, we're about to wrap up, but since you jumped in here, we want to talk about what would you do in Game 5 without Giannis. We're assuming without Giannis because we know what the game plan is when Giannis is playing. If there's no Giannis Antetokounmpo, I think I actually said it right that time. Was I good?
You got it right. You got it perfect.
Oh, shit.
Antetokounmpo.
Whatever. I said it right one fucking time. Give me my roses and I'm done.
Kind of blend a little.
Alex, what would you do? What would you want to see next game from the Heat? Oh, I can't hear him. Can you guys hear him?
No.
I don't
No.
Ah, shit. I did want to get Alex's take. All right. Well, let's wrap it up here. What I want to see, and I don't know if you guys agree with me or not, what I want to see from the Heat. Oh, look. There goes. That was worth it. I can't hear you motherfuckers, but just to see Christian Hernandez giving me a finger, that was dope. What I want to see the next game from the Miami Heat is I want them to treat Chris Middleton like Jeremy Lin. Okay? Mm-hmm. I want them to say, okay, Chris Middleton, use the bad son bitch, bad Leroy Brown in the motherfucking town. We are going to shut you down. Like, I want them to destroy Chris Middleton's confidence. I want him walking away from Game 5 thinking he's the trashiest ass motherfucker in the NBA. Like, I want them to blitz him, trap him, kill him, put up a wall against Chris Middleton like you would against Giannis Antetokounmpo, and have White Vinny and the rest of these motherfuckers try to beat you. Listen, if they go off, if you lose to Marvin Williams, okay, I'm okay with it. But what I don't want to see ever again in my fucking life is Chris Middleton beat my basketball team. I want the Miami Heat to go out there and destroy Chris Middleton's confidence. I want him to be Nick Anderson after the Bulls series where he can't make a fucking shot for the rest of his life. Okay? the entire game plan should be kill Chris Middleton. First of all, you don't even fucking spell your name right. Spell your name with a C and stop trying to be fucking cool, Chris Middleton, you fucking idiot. But I want them to destroy Chris Middleton. Yes, I'm going off. I want them to destroy first, and then So afterwards, I can go after Nikias NBA with his new fucking his new job, getting paid to be a writer. Congratulations, by the way, Nikias. Love you to death. I support you fully, but fuck you and your Chris Middleton bullshit. He was out here talking about Chris Middleton, all NBA, talking trash. I was like, yo, bro, I want them to fucking. I want Chris Middleton to feel like he can't have children after the next game because he has been so emasculated by what the Heat have done to him. And I don't know if I'm going too far with this. Somebody stop me if I am, because you guys are just laughing. I'm
good with it.
I'm telling you, if there is no Giannis next game, I won't take it easy out. Okay, I will. I'll draw back. I needed somebody to.
No, we get what you're saying. You want them to play good on the ball defense against Chris Middleton.
I want Chris Middleton's head on a fucking platter next game.
They're not winning another game. It's that simple. It's not happening again.
No, I don't care. I don't care if they. I don't even care. It's not about winning. I want Chris Middleton destroyed and his confidence and everything about him destroyed. I don't want his children. I don't want his wife and children to be able to look him in the face when he gets home.
Are they in the bubble?
I don't know.
Does he have wife and child in the bubble? Because if we need to. Something's gonna happen there. Okay.
I want them to leave the bubble before he gets back from the game, out of shame, and go stand in days in Ocala. That's what I want for Chris Middleton.
I want his wife to look at Jimmy Butler and be like,
Look at that.
Whoa.
Let me say one thing. ABC has to stop doing that because at one point I was staring at George Hill. And I was like, I really don't like this guy. And I kept thinking to myself, man, I really don't like you, George Hill. And I kept thinking about since the days from when he was in Indiana and they took that ridiculous picture. And then they show his baby waving a sign that says "Go Daddy number 3," and I felt like a piece of shit.
Listen, I know I'm off. I'm unhinged, but there's a reason you guys tune into this post-game show, and I really appreciate. We are the numbers off the post-game show have been amazing. We got up to 24,000 last time, and I literally don't remember a single thing I said. I just got in there drunk as shit and just screamed "Let's go" for 30 minutes, and you guys loved it. But thank you. I do want to say this: I'm drinking vodka right now, but initially this post-game show was powered by a bunch of Biscayne Bay Brewing. I was drinking the pale ale today. Alex, you like the lager, right?
Yeah, I mean, I drank both of them, man. I had a specific amount like allocated for me when I went to your house, and I kind of drank through all of them.
And you drank Kylie's.
What?
Yeah.
I had like 3.
Yeah, you drank mine.
I did
Yes,
not drink
you
Kylie's.
did. I only got one, and it's
That's
your
Alf
fault.
manipulating you, that's for sure.
We got some beef, Alex. We got to talk, okay? Because I was going to post.
Also, the guy from LSO drank a lot of it too.
No, I don't know.
I mean, we all know who's the drinker here.
Listen. I drink one beer and go straight to liquor. I'm not a beer drinker. And also,
once a week.
Al's liver is the real Iron Man. We'll see, because end game soon come. And so that's all I gotta say. The other thing is, until end game comes, want to hit up manscaped.com. Thank you guys for all. We got a bunch of free kits. So the entire listen, ladies, there's some single men in the 5 Reasons Sports community. I just will let you know that we're all clean shaven at this point. All of our balls are as smooth as eggs at this point.
Oh my God.
I can say that.
It was a directive. It was a directive by Ethan Skolnick.
Personally attacked by
Ethan said if you get a Manscaped kit, you got to shave your balls. So listen, we're all now. Huh? You don't have balls.
We had to prove to Ethan that we were using.
I have more balls than all y'all motherfuckers, so we both know it.
Did you just say you have more balls than the rest of us?
Yeah,
she did.
I don't disagree with that.
Alf, were you cool with Ethan Ethan wanting us to test the products and make sure that we sent proof that we were?
Yeah, the pictures were weird.
Did it make you
You know,
uncomfortable?
remember that when you go too far?
You know what it was? It was like I was okay with sending pictures, but it was like we put it on IG Live with hashtag Manscaped Pod. That's what I was like, yo, it's too much. Like it's too much. I'm gonna get fucking arrested
Where
for.
we draw the line.
Yeah, at some point, I am only a corporate shill to a certain extent, unless I have enough Biscayne Bay Brewing. Boom, boom. Listen, I bring it all back around. You see how I do it?
It's full of content with that.
I am nothing but honestly, I'm a walking billboard, motherfucker. Anyway, so listen. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for everyone. Listen, we needed
sponsors. Can we get sponsors for like I don't know tampons or something.
Come on, go out and get them.
Oh, that's sexist now.
Listen, somebody's got to. We need more women on the show. That's why I brought in Tiffany. We got Kylie. Let's go. If everyone else wants to join, hit me up. Don't DM me because then it will get. That's
For
creepy.
the love of God, stop DMing me, please. Heat Nation, I'm fucking begging you. Stop. Oh
Pick
my
the right
God.
medium to do this. I love it.
It's
With everybody watching. It's just
I just make fun of you with my friends. I just make fun of you. We laugh at you. We laugh.
Half of our viewers just logged off when Kylie said stop DMing me. They're like, well, fuck that.
They probably went to DM me because they're mad when I said not to DM me. There are men who DM me literally multiple times a month. They don't stop. I'm like, I have never replied. Why do you think that this is working? Oh my God.
Listen, some men think persistence pays off, and those men are creeps.
Thank you.
Shooters shoot, Kylie.
No, you're not basketball players. You're not Jimmy Butler. You're Joe Schmo sitting on his couch.
No, they're Giannis. They're Giannis from 3 in your mention.
It's so bad.
Kylie, stop DMing me. All right.
Sorry, Ben. That's my bad.
This is why I say I want to stop at 30 minutes because the longer I go, you can't keep leaving these shows in my hands. All right. Listen, no, Kylie is not giving out her IG. It's the same as her Twitter.
Did you guys talk
on my Twitter, dummies? Oh my God! But that doesn't mean you should DM me. Fucking Christ.
Alex, do you want to give any more real basketball analysis as I've turned this into a complete
It is
shit
off
show?
the rails. We are off the
No
rails.
analysis, just Tyler Hero has the fucking guts, man. They really almost brought it back when they shouldn't have won that game, like everybody's saying. They shouldn't have won, right? But my God, Hero just made it possible. Every time it looked like they were just kind of out of it. I mean, big shot after big shot, man. He hit 3 of them. It's fucking awesome. The kid is 20.
You know what he has? He has
every time we talk about him, by the way, it's mandated. He's 20.
You know what he has? He has the balls, and he has the balls.
Don't do it.
That thanks to Manscaped.com are smooth as eggs.
We can't confirm.
God.
We cannot confirm. There's no reporting behind this.
We're
going to talk about some equally uncomfortable sponsorships that we can get. Okay.
Listen, I will do tampon sponsorship.
I
am shameless.
Say something about a woman's flow. That's what I want to hear.
I am shameless. Listen, any tampons, maxi pads, whatever you guys want to sponsor the show, I will.
Can we get Monat?
I am shameless.
We all know that.
Can we get Monat? That
What's that?
product line that a lot of girls in Miami are using now.
What are you talking
What is that? I feel like we're going down a dangerous path right now.
Nobody gets the joke. Never mind.
Okay,
Hopefully some commenters got it. People from Miami got that joke.
Kylie, do you want? I should stop that right where it's starting, right? I don't know what Monad is.
I don't know.
Yeah.
No, this all don't do it.
Yeah.
Shout out to Monostat 7, another sponsor.
Yeah.
What's that?
Okay.
You don't want to know what that is. He's
I
done.
literally hate it. You guys, we're gonna get an HR department, okay?
All right, I said 45 minutes. We have 40 seconds left. Is there anything? Kylie, I've got 1280 on price.
What are you gonna buy me? What are you gonna buy me, baby? What are you gonna buy me with?
I would love to put towards us splitting a check. Listen, that is some romantic shit.
I'm splitting the check because I'm a feminist, baby, and I appreciate that.
Tiffany, what do you think about that romanticism? That's beautiful.
Listen, that's delete as soon as you talk about splitting.
It was jalapeno poppers and dip.
There we go. All right, guys. I think we've had enough. Listen, the Heat in 5, Heat in 5, Heat in 6. Tonight was what it was. There was a major wrench thrown in the plans, and the Heat did not react well. But you know what? The Heat are 7-1 in the playoffs. They've already exceeded our expectations. Let's enjoy the rest of our Sunday night. Let's go. We have Labor Day tomorrow?
Yeah.
I forget it's like it doesn't feel like holidays anymore. Let's enjoy our Labor Day tomorrow. We will reconnect on Tuesday for the pregame and the postgame. Tune in to the postgame show.
For a celebration.
For the celebration. Oh, hey, listen, if we close out Tuesday night,
you're gonna be in raw form.
Tiffany, you think I was bad tonight? Think I was bad tonight?
You're gonna be a hot mess.
Hot mess. I was a hot mess tonight. It's gonna be worse. I might fall asleep in the middle of the postgame show, wake back up, and start screaming, "Let's motherfucking go!" I might do that shit. I've been known. I might boot and rally in the middle of the damn show. I'm not gonna.
Al, remember that 5 Reasons to Drink show where we both blacked out?
Yes. And my screen was just dark for like 30 minutes.
I don't remember the entire 3-hour show.
I cussed out multiple members of 5 Reasons Sports. If you're MAGA and you're part of 5 Reasons Sports, I apologize for what I said to you that night. No, I don't. Anyway, let me stop talking before I get myself in any more trouble. Heat in 5. We will see you guys Tuesday. There'll be a podcast tonight going up from Ethan Skolnick, Greg Leif. I hate calling him Greg. Greg Leif Alexander Savander, and Brady Hawk, who's doing the yeoman's work for our network right now. It's amazing what he's doing. Light Skin Opinions will be coming at you again this week. Our last episode was one of my favorite episodes that we've done in months. We were back in the same room together, so the chemistry was off the chain again. We had a fantastic time. I told some great stories. Chris told some stories. We got drunk, had a good time. People were doing other illicit drugs. Kylie, shout out what you're doing on your end.
Playing catch up, 5 to 10 minutes long. On Monday, it's going to be tomorrow. It's going to be 10 minutes. Me and Tamara Brown. We're going to catch up on everything you missed in South Florida sports because you're probably just focused on the Heat, which is totally fair. But some other things have been happening, and we will catch you up on that. We are Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, so don't forget to check that out tomorrow.
That is an excellent show on our on the 5 Reasons Sports YouTube channel. Please check it out. Those are 2 very, very talented young ladies who I had an argument with some people in South Florida sports radio over the weekend that don't get shots because for some reason they would just rather play ESPN national broadcast or some fishing show that was paid for by a bunch of assholes for $1,500 for an hour. Alfredo, talk to them about what you're doing over there at 3 yards per carry. The NFL season is opening soon. The Miami Dolphins are doing big things. They just cut Josh Rosen, and there's a lot of Dolphins fans that are apoplectic about a career backup being cut. What's happening over at 3 yards per carry?
It's a game week. This week's podcast will be a game preview. Dolphins-Patriots next Sunday. Another reason it's important that the Heat finish off the Bucks as soon as possible so we can concentrate on football on Thursday. You have the Canes, you have the Chiefs, you have the Texans. Big football night on Thursday night. I don't want it marred by a nervous Game 6. So let's close them out on Game 5.
Love it. Tiffany, you are new to 5 Reasons Sports. This is your trial by fire. I am sorry that it's been such a hectic clusterfuck of a show. Honestly, when you put me in charge, it's kind of what happens. Tell them where to find you. I know you're not doing anything else as far as multimedia right now, but we're starting. This is the beginning of it. Tell them where to find you and how to link up with you.
Well, I'm not in Miami, so that's so that might not help. But you find me somewhere crying in the corner about the Bears, or you can check me out at jamphotodigital.com for photography, videos. Honestly, I hardly use the Twitter except to talk about this. I don't even know the Twitter handle, to be perfectly honest.
It's at Tiffany Meeks.
There you go.
Tiffany
Say it.
Meeks, Meeks. Find
Yes.
Tiffany Meeks on Twitter. She
2345.
something like there's some numbers after that.
It's
We'll
Jordan.
put it on the promotional. She knows her shit. She's a very good basketball fan. As you can see, she has really good opinions. And we are out because I think everyone's kind of tired. Someone actually just tweeted, "Yo, end the fucking show." So yes, we are about to end. Yes, yo, end the show. All right, y'all. Love you.
Thanks
Happy
for having
Labor
me.
Day. See you guys next time.